Good afternoon. My name is Rebecca Hunn. I'd like for you all to take a second to think about the culture you live in. How has it influenced you? How do you view other cultures? What is even the point in talking about culture? I implore you to consider the importance culture has on our development, not only as a generation, but as individuals. If culture is this important now, then certainly it has been for all of previous history. Today I'd like to persuade you all to consider the importance of culture and to support the museums that enable us to experience such things. I'm also going to present one of 3 of the top museums in America in the hopes that one day you will get to visit. As discussed in my previous speech, archaeology is one important way we can understand past cultures as well as how they influenced our current one. Though archaeology is extremely important in trying to understand these things, it's not always easily accessed by the public. Of the many ways to connect archaeology to public view, museums, which open up exhibits of artifacts to public view, are the most important. These museums and the exhibits they house are funded in large part by charitable giving. Because museums are technically nonprofit organizations, Ford W. Bell states in his article, How are Museums Supported Financially in the U.S., which was published in the Embassy of the United States of America, that 36.5% of their revenue comes from private donations. This fact can lead to many monetary problems, as was the case for the Chicago Art Institute. After a hedge fund loss, the Chicago Art Institute took 7 years to restabilize financially, as stated in Christine Williamson's article, Art Institute Back on Track, in 2008. Monetary issues like this can cause many problems for museums, and for that reason, it's important for museums to continue receiving these monetary gifts in order for them to provide the exhibits that we all go see. 3 important museums that you should all make an effort to support and visit are the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Cleveland Museum of Art, and the Chicago Art Institute. Listed in the article, the 25 best museums in America ranked by James Grebe on August 31, 2016 in the Business Insider, these 3 museums take first, second, and third place respectively. These 3 museums contain so many visual examples of the artistic culture that has both influenced and defined how our present culture developed. Not only do they focus on past culture, but according to Dottie Kazanjian and Calvin Tompkins in their article, The Met and the Now, the Metropolitan Museum of Art now includes the Department of Modern and Contemporary Art, which will present exhibitions, films, concerts, and performances dedicated to understanding modern culture. Here are some examples of the amazing exhibits from both past and present cultures that you can see at these museums. At the Metropolitan Museum of Art, you can view exhibits such as Jewish manuscripts from 1000 to 1400, which present examples of past culture and how our literature has developed over the course of years, as well as more modern exhibits, including this particular exhibit, which celebrates art from New York City's kids. This is part of the Modern and Contemporary Art Department that I mentioned a moment ago with the Metropolitan Museum of Art, where they are displaying artwork that kids in their own city from our culture have created. So at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, you can find amazing examples of both past and present artwork. At the Cleveland Museum of Art, you can see exhibits such as Art History from Mughal India, which includes things such as paintings and tapestries, as well as actual statues and artifacts, such as this Tibetan statue of White Tara. These statues and tapestries include descriptions of where they came from, who found them, what they mean, what importance they had in the culture that they represent, and museums provide these descriptions in order to help us understand these cultures that they're representing. At the Art Institute of Chicago, you can see 18th and 19th century Japanese maps, which show the changes in topography and geography as we've developed as a culture, as well as create your own culture. In the Miniature Thorn Room interactive exhibit, you can design your own example of a thorn room and play a part in our past history. These visuals are merely examples from 3 out of many museums that you can go see and learn from. Since I can only show you a glimpse of the many exhibits that exist, I encourage you all to go to the museums and explore their vast wealth of information for yourself. In conclusion, I would encourage all of you to place visiting these 3 museums on your bucket list. And since October has been declared National Arts and Humanities Month by President Obama, according to the National Endowment for the Arts Federal Agency, I hope you can find time this month to invest in the United States culture. Go out and discover how our culture became the way it is, and maybe even learn a little bit about the past while you're at it. Thank you.